Ready? All right. I'm an American, just like you. I'm a Christian, just like you. Yet most white Christians vote Republican, and most black Christians vote Democrat. I was born in this country. I even have Native American bloodline. I have the right to vote in America. Black voters were originally Republicans. Jim Crow laws stripped away rights for black people. Black voters found hope in John F. Kennedy, who was Democrat. More civil rights acts will pass if all Christians vote Democrat. Conservative Christians vote Republican, unless they're black. In 2016, 81% of white voters supported Trump. 96% of black voters supported Clinton. What should be the most controlling Christian vote in this country is divided in half by racial discrimination and corrupt laws. In 1890, blacks were Republican and Southern whites were Democrat. The 1870, the 15th Amendment gave blacks the right to vote. The first 23 black congressmen were Republican, according to History.com. Conservatives like the days before President Lincoln. After all, they were slave owners. Lincoln kept troops in the South to make sure that blacks could vote. The 1876 vote was deadlocked and both parties claimed victory, which caused the threat of another war. Rutherford B. Hayes meant in secret that in exchange for the presidency, he would remove troops from the South, which gave way for the KKK to take over the South. Jim Crow laws stripped away the rights of black people. The Compromise of 1877 was the betrayal of black people. When the Great Depression hit, black unemployment was twice as high as whites. Next, Christian blacks found hope in the progressive New Deal programs of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was also a Democrat. 1934, Arthur Mitchell was the first black Democrat congressman. In 1953 to 1965, more than 120 civil rights measures were considered by the Senate. Almost everyone was killed by the committee. More civil rights efforts were considered by Democrats than Republicans, according to Black Americans in Congress. So, blacks began to vote Democrat, but Southern Democrats were blocking the bills. Strom Thurmond formed the States' Rights Democratic Party, dedicated to preserving segregation. Quote, "There's not enough troops in the Army to force the Southern people to break down segregation and admit the Negro race into our theaters, into our swimming pools, into our homes, and into our churches," end quote. That's Strom Thurmond. 1960, while civil rights protests, John F. Kennedy, who was a Democrat, gave a speech June 11, 1963, labeled "Civil Rights is the Moral Issue," and he called an end to discrimination. 5 months later, he was assassinated. President Johnson passed the act to end segregation. Strom Thurmond switched from Democrat to Republican. In 1964, the KKK follows, and the South switched from blue to red states. Therefore, black voters are conservative, but the histories are extremely different. So, The right to pray in school is meaningless if all can attend. Conservatives feel like good things are in danger of loss. Progressives see improvement by progress or moving forward, such as equal rights and Christian love and unity. What do you see in the rearview mirror? Whites see happier times, pure and Christian values. Black voters see struggle and conflict for equal rights. Remember, black voters were originally Republican, but Jim Crow laws stripped the rights away from black people. Black voters found hope in John F. Kennedy, who was a Democrat. More Civil Act rights will pass if all Christians vote Democrat. All American Christians should vote Democrat. Every one of you have the right to vote. Please vote for the progressive hope of a unified future. The Bible calls Christians to be unified in the body of Christ. Thank you.